All right, we are back. I am so sorry. I apologize. We had a very bad technical difficulty. Unbelievable. We are back. I'm sorry. I don't know. Today's been a long day. And honestly, I've had technical difficulties all day trying to post on YouTube. And you know what? It didn't end tonight. So I apologize. It's frustrating. It is very frustrating. So sorry for those that, took your time to watch and everything. But we are finally back. We are here. Unfortunate. The stream ended. It wasn't supposed to. I had to like switch devices, but it didn't go as planned. So we are back for Prediction Friday. We're going to continue where we left off. Where were we? We are at the point where were we? Where were we? We
I
are
know you took off, and I was blabbing, and I was talking, trying to read some comments, and next thing you know, while I was reading the comments, it said stream ended. I was like, "Damn, what's going on here, man?"
yeah, my bad, man. So we'll restart. So, oh man, let's go back. We were talking about injuries. We were talking about 49er injuries.
Mhm.
And we were talking about the fact that, Juwan Jennings, crazy concussion, but hopefully he can get better. Ambry Thomas, right? All these guys in the secondary are hurt. And now you got to rely on players like Logan Ryan and Eric Harris, et cetera, et cetera. Sam Womack, players like that. So we'll see what happens this week. But, there's some other players that are also going to be able to come back. Jalen Moore, he had a concussion. He's back. John Feliciano, he's questionable with the back injury. But all these players, you know, the players that are hurt, they're going to get much needed rest, and then the players that are not hurt, they're going to get some good reps, and to keep them steady. So I just hope that the players that are hurt specifically are able to come back. That's the best. That's the biggest thing is, I don't want any more injuries. Like we already have a laundry list of injuries. I don't want to see any more players get hurt. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, same here. And I was asking. I'm not sure if you not sure. I think this was right before I lost you. I know I did ask you at one point about the running back situation since
hmm.
we are sitting CMC. I mentioned Jeremy McNichols. I'm not sure if he's still with the team anymore. If he's still with the team, I'm assuming he's going to be a third running back, unless we have a totally new third running back now that I'm unaware of. So we're going to probably see a heavy dose of Elijah Mitchell and Jordan Mason, and I'm not sure who else will suit up at running back. If it's not Jeremy Nichols, you could clue me in on that. And Jason Verrett, right? He had. I didn't even know. I think they were saying that he had his hand. Did he have the injury before the Commanders game? Somebody hinted that to me about
who,
Jason
who,
Verrett about Ambry Thomas with his broken hand.
so he had it after the Commanders game, is it what I heard?
Okay.
Yeah, after the Commanders game. And then
I,
running back, yeah,
mhm.
Jeremy McNichols, he's back on the practice squad. He'll probably get called up. TDP is also on the practice squad, but
Oh, he is. Okay, I thought he was gone
no,
completely.
remember they cut him and then they brought
Okay.
him back, put him on the practice squad. They had Jeremy McNichols, and then he got cut and put back on the practice squad. So they just been doing the wiki.
Musical
Um,
chairs.
yeah, the musical chairs with those guys. But Elijah Mitchell, he played good last week. I think he had a heck of a game. He had
He
my
was
game
nice,
wrong.
man. He was
He was
nice.
nice. But now he's got an illness. He got the flu this week. So it's like this guy cannot stay out of the injury
I
list, man.
think some Niner fans need to keep their mouth shut about Elijah Mitchell because, like, when he was doing good last week, I was just looking at my phone. People were like, "Oh yeah, he played good today, but he'll probably get injured. Watch, like, dude, shut
Yeah, no.
up, man."
Some people were like, "Oh, he's gonna be sore after this game." I'm like, "Come on, man. I love Elijah, man." But the guy's definitely going through. It's tough. Like some guys just get hurt a lot. Jason Verrett, man, this guy again. We talked about him. Elijah Mitchell's one of them ones. It's unfortunate for those guys, man. I feel for them. Like I could tell, like they want. It's not like they want to get hurt. It's not like they want to sit there and get injured every week. But it's just the nature of the game, man. And some guys just their bodies take a hit and they get hurt, man. And it is what it is. I'd probably get decapitated if I was out there trying to play football. So I got a lot of respect for
that's
these
why
guys.
that's why you're here, right?
That's why I'm talking about it, not playing it. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a weird game though, just because it's like a preseason game, but it's a regular season game. And the NFL, they kind of did this to themselves. It's they added an extra week to the schedule, a couple years back because they want more money. But you know what? The 49ers, they get the number one seed, and like most number one seeds, they're gonna rest their players,
And
man.
we balling.
They gotta rest the players, man, because to me, it just doesn't make sense to play your guys in a meaningless game if you already have the number one seed locked up. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? You go out there and you throw Brock Purdy, and he gets hurt. You know how pissed off we'd be. How sick would
Oh, oh my God. Yeah, we all saw what happened in the Eagles game. Well, that was in the game that actually mattered, but it just was one of those things that we did not see coming. Had Brock Purdy playing in the biggest game of his life, and boom, we barely even had him in the game. So, yeah, I know Purdy's fired up to play in this upcoming playoff run. I I just can't, just like he's just such a good guy. Purdy's a great guy. I mean, we saw when Kyle Shanahan was in the locker room and he announced like, "Hey, Brock Purdy broke the record for 49ers yardage in an NFL season for all 49er quarterbacks of all time." And like Trent Williams was like, Brock Purdy, and Debo Samuel was like, Brock Purdy, bro. Like they were just hella hyped up, and Trent Williams was hugging him and all this, and like I just want to see him ball out for the playoffs. I want to see his best football of the season in the playoffs. Let's just say that.
Yeah, same here, dude. I want to see Brock Purdy shine. I want to see him go crazy because you could tell this team just loves him. They rally around this guy like nobody's business. And speaking of Trent Williams, man, like this guy, he deserves a ring so bad. Like he is
Mm-hmm.
so happy. Kid in a candy store when they won that game last week and they clinched the number one seed. Like he was so happy. He was just like when he was talking about how he never had a team that he's been on be the number one seed. Like you could just see, like, damn man, this guy's been grinding whole years, all these years, just putting in so much work, and he now is on this great team, and you could just see how much it means to him. Like he battled cancer, and he talked about that, and how much he really loves this team. And CMC said the same thing, like I love this team, and God, Trent Williams, man, when he hugged Brock Purdy, like the way he hugged him, like he just embraced him like he was his younger brother. Like it just was. Oh man, it was great to see that whole sequence, the whole locker room, and it was amazing, man. And I feel so great the fact the 49ers have Trent Williams. Trent Williams is just he's one of those guys that you're like, man, you're rooting for. When the 49ers had like Willis and Gore and Staley, you're like, man, these guys need a ring. Trent Williams is one of those guys you're like, God, I hope when he retires with the Super Bowl championship because he deserves
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah, we had Frank Gore, was set the Frank Gore years, Patrick Willis years, the Joe Staley years, and just sucks that those guys didn't come down with the ring. So hopefully, this new era, new generation, Trent Williams is one of the guys that comes down with the ring. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I know. Speaking of the playoffs, let's talk a little bit, let's kind of preview ourselves a little bit before we get to our prediction of the game. So, what do you think about the NFC playoffs? Obviously, there's still some seeding to be shaken out, but overall, I mean, 49ers, right, number one seed, they're going to play the lowest seed remaining when that divisional round hits. But who do you see as the biggest threat to the 49ers in the NFC playoffs? Like, who do you not want to see? Who do you think is going to win? And where do you see these playoffs going?
Who I don't want to see. It's kind of. I mean, there's no time that this like scares me. But then again, something tells me that maybe if we play the Cowboys again, that they might be up for it. Even though I just think we always out physical the Cowboys anyways, and our style just totally just I don't know. It's just a bad matchup for the Cowboys, but maybe we just catch the Cowboys on a night where they're just or a day they're just super hyped up to play us and they want something to prove, and we beat them last two times in the playoffs, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, probably
Yeah.
that team.
Niners handled them pretty much, but it's been close in the playoffs. Like to me, and I did say this, my man 49ers Throwback says that I said a team in the NFC that I see as a threat to the Niners are the Cowboys. I do. I think out of all the teams in the NFC, like you stack them up, like I'm not worried about most of these teams. The Cowboys, the reason I say that is because we've played them so many times. Like they have this, they have a chip on their shoulder. They're going to be mad. They're going to be looking at the film. They're familiar with us. Like they kind of have played us a lot, and that to me kind of worries me. When you play a team a lot, you do eventually, get things to break your way a little bit. You get a little bit of luck, some tendencies, although the 49ers probably know their tendencies for playing them a lot too. So I mean, I know the Niners can handle them because they have so many times, and it's a different story when the Dallas Cowboys are on the road, right? They'll get home field advantage for their games if they win the NFC East. Then in that final game, they got to travel to Levi's, and that's a whole different ballgame for the Cowboys. Like they can't win on the road. So that's why it's great that the 49ers got number one seed. So whoever comes to Levi's, they got to travel all the way down here. So it's great for us. A team like the Cowboys, it's not great for them. But I'm not worried about Philly. I feel like we kind of broke them. We kind of decapitated their souls, really. After we cooked them up, they have not been the same team. A dark horse that I'm kind of, thinking about is maybe Green Bay. They got young
I
teams,
keep hearing
right?
Green Bay.
Got nothing to lose. They might go out there and just let it sling. But they have a lot of players that are not battle tested. Jordan Love never been in the playoffs, so that's going to be their downfall. Is Jordan Love going to be able to win some playoffs? Might take him some time. And I know a lot of people are high on Detroit, but I feel like Detroit's one of those teams that they have not been battle tested either in the playoffs, and they might win a game, but I don't think they're going to have enough to win out a bunch of games in the playoffs and to win a big game in the playoffs. And I think that also their secondary will be their downfall.
Yes, I mean, yeah, it's Detroit. I mean, they seem like the type of team that if they play other teams, they'll be fine. But if they played us, like they'll kind of be intimidated in some way somehow. And we all know that Goff does great against certain types of teams, right? But then when he plays teams that do generate a pretty nice pass rush, that he doesn't know how to respond to it. And the only thing I'm a little concerned about a pass rush, not too concerned, but like in the last game, like Bosa or Chase Young didn't get a sack. I noticed, and I think they kind of limited Chase Young's reps just a little bit. I was looking at the rep rate, how many reps each player got. I forgot the numbers exactly, but I just hoping that our pass rush comes alive in the playoffs because we need to see guys like Hargrave, Randy Gregory, Nick Bosa, Chase Young, all those guys, even Clelin Ferrell. Clelin Ferrell did have a sack in the last game, but we definitely need those guys to come alive in the playoffs.
I agree. We need that defensive line to be ferocious. Like they've been okay, but I need to see this D line like worth every single penny that they're making because it's a very highly paid defensive line. So I agree. I want to see this D line just take it to another level. Hopefully the rest will make them play, with extra energy. Because I think at this point in the season you're just tired. The guys are wearing down, especially in the trenches. So I agree with that. My man Throwback says don't sleep on the Rams. They still have Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay. And yeah, even though this week's game kind of means nothing, but if we play the Rams again in the playoffs, if we meet again, that's gonna be a whole different story. Like that game will be that'll be tough because the Rams are playing at a very high clip. They're playing good football lately. So if we would have played this Rams game and would have meant something, I mean, it's not an easy opponent. So yeah, the Rams might be able to pull it off an upset. If they play Detroit, I could see the Rams beating Detroit. Because it's that Matt Stafford versus Jared Goff, right? The whole teams against their former team, right? Quarterbacks against their former teams. I honestly could see the Rams pulling off the upset. It's crazy, but then it would be probably the Rams versus the Niners in the second round, and then here we go. This game that doesn't matter will all of a sudden matter now in the division, and then the thing is, that is why, like you said earlier, the 49ers, they're going to be vanilla this game because they know if they have to play the Rams in a couple of weeks, they don't want to tip their hat. And the Rams, the same thing. Sean McVay knows, I'm not going to give Kyle any new secrets of what we've been doing. I'm going to lay low. I'm not going to play these starters. And that's why this game is interesting because they're going to try to play this game, but without their real, game style. It's going to be a weird game watching this game. Like, this is not going to be 49ers football. This is not going to be Rams football. It's going to be just two teams going out there running basic plays and seeing who ends up with the winning score at the end. And then, and if they play again in a couple weeks, whole different game.
Oh yeah, it'll be completely different. And good thing is, well, I was gonna say good thing is gonna be at home, but it's all we all know that SoFi's Levi's South. I don't need to say that. I'm preaching to the choir, basically. Let me ask you this, because since you said vanilla, I'm going back to the Ravens game. Yeah. There's this a few people were throwing this around, and I'm not a subscriber to it, but they were trying to say that Kyle wasn't getting in his bag versus the Ravens, and what he was running out there was vanilla. Yeah. Like I don't know. I don't know if you're one of the people that thought that, but
yeah, I heard that take. I think I posted about that. I think Dante Whitner was the guy that he brought it to the forefront, but there was a lot of other people that were saying it. But yeah, he says they didn't want to tip his hat. They kind of ran like a vanilla basic offense, right? Just to not show his cards. But honestly, man, I don't buy that. I don't think you try to play to lose games. I don't think you play just to not in that type of game, because that was still a very big game. Like the Niners still were trying to fight for that number one seed. Like I just don't think that Kyle was not trying to win that game and play his best game. They just got punched in the mouth. I mean, going back to that game, I don't want to spend too much because we've talked about it ad nauseum, but I don't think that's the case. Like I know they're saying oh, he didn't want to show his cards because if they play again in the playoffs, in the Super Bowl, he'll have a whole different plan. I mean, obviously he's going to have other stuff that he's, not showing, but I don't think that he purposely tried to call a basic game for that. I don't buy into that, but a lot of people believe that, man. A lot of people believe that.
Yeah.
It's
To quote Herm Edwards, you play to win the games.
Play to win the game.
And the thing is, though, I'm not one for moral victories, but just to shed some light on a few things, we were moving the ball pretty damn good in that game. We were just ridiculously sloppy. We gave them so many opportunities, and our defense got tired, and we gave their offense short fields and all that other stuff. But regardless, we were moving the ball. So whether it was vanilla and we're moving the ball, or was with Kyle trying to win the game, I'm pretty sure I don't think Kyle was saying, "Hey, let me just throw a vanilla playbook at these guys and call it a day." But either way, if we do play it again, I'd feel a bit better knowing that we can possibly move the ball on them and not turn the ball over as much as we did this last time. But at the end of the day, we have to win these games one week at a time in the playoffs, and then we'll see whoever we play in that Super Bowl, if it's Ravens or whoever else it may be.
Yeah, I agree. My man Russell hit it right on the head. He can't
Russell Garcia.
He says you can't turn the ball over 5 times and give up 102 penalty yards, expect to win. That's it. Bottom line.
Great point. I forgot about the penalties. We've had some bad penalty games this season too. A lot of times we won in those games, but there's been plenty of games we lost that we're just terrible with penalties. Horrible. And just stupid penalties. Like, oh man, that Ravens game, the Wisnowski, the one where he hit the guy out of bounds where he totally didn't need to.
Oh God, yeah, that was he got fined for that. That was crazy.
Yeah, crazy. But Mitch has been balling though. Mitch has been balling.
He's been balling.
Got 99 problems, but a Mitch ain't one.
Oh, I like that one. Yeah, no, but I'm excited for the playoffs. I can't wait to find out who the heck the 49ers play. Like, I am going to be sitting on pins and needles, waiting to see who the heck the 49ers play come divisional round. So next week, after those playoff games, we'll finally find out, after whatever happens, we'll find out who we're playing. I'm so ready to find out who we're playing. You going to be at any of the playoff games, Bash?
Ooh. Oh, right now, no, but you never know. If something changes down the road, let me know. If you hit me up, be like, "Hey, Bash, man, got this opportunity to get these dope ass seats. Yo, I got one for me and one for you. You better come down. You better come through." I'm like, "Okay, hell yeah, I'm showing up." So if I get that special phone call,
all right,
we shall see.
We'll see. I want to go to the NFC Championship game, but I also want to go to the Super Bowl if the 49ers make it. So I don't know. I
don't know if I want to spend $10,000 for a ticket.
That's a lot, man. But the once in a lifetime, Bash. Can you imagine going to the Super Bowl and watching the 49ers win? Like,
oh, that'd be a thing of beauty. It's priceless.
So we'll see. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna make it to the playoffs. I want to. I've been to a lot of games this year. I might as well make it to a playoff game. But we got to make sure that the money's right and go from there. But speaking of the money's right, is the money right on the 49ers? What's your prediction? Let's get into that before we hang it up here. What's your prediction for Sunday against Carson Wentz and the LA Rams?
Sunday, 25-14.
25-14.
It's 25-14.
Niners?
What's that?
Niners?
Let's go.
Okay. Any bold predictions? What you think? What you got?
Bold predictions. Sam Darnold throws for over 230 yards and has 2 touchdowns.
Oh my God!
I see ghosts.
He's gonna have that good of a game, huh? Wow. I hope.
Yeah, I think he's just tired of everybody making fun of him and Shanahan, he's like Steve Young, and blah 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 blah, and maybe he comes alive. So
maybe, I hope so. I hope he wins. I got the Niners winning, but I think it's gonna be a close game. Bunch of backups, bunch of practice players. I don't know. A lot of starters are gonna be missing. Sam Darnold is gonna be playing. Carson Wentz on the other side. He usually does good. I think it's gonna be a close one. I think it's going to be like 17-13 Niners. I don't expect too much scoring on this game. I really don't see Sam Darnold putting in too much scores. I think it's going to be maybe a Jordan Mason type game on the ground. We'll get a touchdown from Jordan Mason. Maybe one of the receivers could catch a touchdown, like maybe Debo, because he'll be playing. Debo and Ayuk, they'll be playing maybe in the first quarter. We'll get a nice little Debo tutty. 14 plus a field goal, 17-13. It's going to be one of those low-scoring games. I think Sam Darnold is going to show us why the hell Brock Purdy's our starter. That's the way I look at it. I think he'll have a pick.
I'm thinking maybe Ronnie Bell gets in the end zone again.
Okay, yeah, oh yeah, the Ronnie Bell Sam Darnold connection, low key nice. I remember in the preseason, they had a nice catch. I can't remember what game it was, but I was at the game. Which preseason game was it? What preseason game was it? I can't remember. But I remember he had a
It was the
nice.
Raiders.
I don't know. Maybe it was the Raiders. He had a slick little pass, and Sam Darnold to Ronnie Bell. I was like, oh wow, nice pass. Like they have a good little connection. They had the touchdown against the Ravens. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's gonna be Sammy D to Ronnie B T D. Let's see what happens. We'll see. That's his guy.
There you go.
Yeah,
Got Chris Osorno saying 28-17. Because I believe Sam balls out in this one. The faithful will be rocking for the regular season finale. Go out with a bang bang Niner gang.
I think so. I mean, I hope the Niner fans are rocking for this finale, but I know a lot of people that are selling their tickets and not going to the game, so it's not going to be as big. It's again, the game doesn't mean much, so I think that's why a lot of fans are just kind of like, it is what it is. Like that's the vibe I get this week. It's just a lot of fans are not really caring about this game. But again, hey, playoff time, we'll be there. We'll be ready to roll.
Yes, sirree.
Any last things? Any comments, questions, concerns? Anything you got going on for the next couple of days?
I'm gonna be on with live tomorrow with Aaron from 49 First Takes on my channel, 49er Minded YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to it, just hop on over right now. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Also do the same for our SF 49ers live channel, which is Roger's YouTube channel. So both channels love. We always do the dual broadcasting. And yeah, so tomorrow 3 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah, 3 p.m. Pacific. Next Friday, we don't got nothing to predict. Maybe
I know, right? And we might have to take the week off or something. I don't know. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
So I probably won't see you in 2 weeks. I hope you have a good 2 weeks, Bash. And the next time we're talking, we'll be talking about playoff. We talk about the playoffs.
Playoffs. I can't go as high as you do, man.
I know. I got that. Playoffs.
Kind of reminds of Iago the parrot in Aladdin.
My movie. That's my movie. That's
your movie. I didn't know that. Okay.
Aladdin, the Indian prince from. Come on, man. When I was a kid.
All right.
Anyways, appreciate everybody for hopping in and joining. I know the stream kind of messed up tonight. I apologize for that. It's been a long day. Appreciate you for hopping in. To those that did, you guys have a good rest of your night. Bang bang, Nana gang. Always appreciate.
Let's go Niners. Thank you guys for watching part 2.
Good
night.